She's at 154 ball,
Oof.
250 in the air. And your average distance we just figured out was 265.6, I think was what it was. She's out of second place by 0.4 and out of first place by 1.6. So our goal is to try to get you to 260 carry. And as you do that, as you warm up, because again, first swing of the day,
Yep.
I want you to get Maddie into the mindset of also doing it. That's our goal.
Yeah.
That's our goal.
What was like the big factor that helped you unlock a lot of the distance?
Just putting on a lot of strength. So I actually had hip surgeries my junior and senior year of high school. So kind of after those, I realized the importance.
Hip surgeries?
Yep, one on each hip.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep, yeah. So labrum tears in both. So had to go through the recovery with that, and in that process, kind of figured out how important building up strength was to prevent future injuries, and just being able to sustain long seasons and just the grind of playing. So definitely just building up all that strength translated to power really well, and then working with my coach, my swing just got a lot better and a lot more efficient, that I was able to use that strength.
Yeah, I would also imagine that it's probably got to be tough to go from swinging so hard, then tearing, right?
Yes.
Your labrum is what you said it was, and then trying to again go back to swinging really hard. Was that like a big hurdle for you?
A little bit. Fortunately, had a really, really good physical therapist, great surgeon, and just the entire process went really smooth, which I was really happy with. But yeah, I mean, definitely getting back into golf after and taking swings, and just even the first couple swings, it's so hesitant to actually trust it again. But it was really, the big thing is that we made sure to not rush back.
Got it.
Like there was no rush in high school to be, okay, I have my entire career ahead of me still. Why am I gonna rush to risk re-injuring it? Right. So yeah, definitely a little bit of trust had to be built back up over time.
So from an equipment standpoint, you're fitting for this. Mm-hmm. How quickly did you end up in that golf shaft?
So I ended up in a very similar shaft. My freshman year of college, ended up in Tour AD, Graphite designed the IZ5 in the stiff. And that was still probably about 10 miles an hour slower than I was today. And then put on a lot of speed my junior year of college, and the ball was just going sideways. Junior and senior year put on a lot of speed.
Just so everybody knows, 273, 159 miles an hour. So objective overly accomplished. So the reason I talk about that golf shaft though is, so when you talk about developing and sequencing a swing for speed, this is something that Bryson actually talks about a ton, is that golf shaft is really, really good for late, right? And in your swing, you are so sequenced to get so far to the bottom before you unleash, right? Like your whole swing looks powerful, your tempo's there, everything's smooth, right? But first off, I hate the word smooth, I hate the word tempo, because it's about when you're fast, right? You are so fast second half, and that shaft being such a linear soft profile as it gets to the bottom, all it does is it waits, and then you go hard, and it goes harder, right? So it's a beautiful combination.
Oh yeah, no,
for
I loved it the moment that it got put into my hand by my fitter. But yeah, I put on a ton of distance. Ball was just going dead sideways. And I'm working with, we wanted to eliminate all the possible technique problems first. So me and my coach are working for months trying to get it straightened out. And then the Titleist rep actually came up to school. I am
about to love this quote, just so everybody knows. Go ahead, sorry, continue.
The Titleist rep came up to school the fall of my 5th year. And, had been working through some issues for about 6 months. And he goes, well,
technique-wise.
Technique-wise. And just trying to get it to stay on the planet. And he just goes, well, no duh, your shaft is terrible now for you.
Bang! Buy new equipment. Don't change your swing. Got her. All right.
And got put into the DI6X and going a little bit heavier and a lot stiffer. Just changed it. I mean, immediately.
Well, especially in the profile change that you made
Exactly.
too, right? Because like, so graphite design being such, it's so enriched in Japanese heritage,
Yeah.
right? Everything they make is a little bit softer. So your X is probably a comparable like stiff plus,
Yeah.
right? In the graphite design part. But for you, it makes so much sense because of how much control you have over it. But with something like an IZ, I imagine that before the hip issues, you were probably a little bit more lateral with your hips, right?
Yeah.
Whereas now, you have such a hold off to fire everything because the more you can sync and not separate, it helps everything stay together, like just
Exactly.
an anatomy standpoint, right?
Yeah.
So that makes so much sense to me, but also, again, 6 months of trying to fix it, and she fixed it with a golf shaft. It matters. Thank
And,
you.
Yeah, and I mean, my teammates were so funny because I finally got it delivered. They had been watching me just hit it off the planet for months. And I put the new driver into play, and they go, oh my God,
Yeah.
why didn't you do this sooner?
So good.
You're going to be so deadly now.
So good.
Now
Yeah.
that you can hit your driver straight and have that distance,
Yes.
it's a deadly combo.
All right, give us one more. We'll get an average here. Although 273 in the air is fine. Slightly wiped.
Yeah, a little bit white.
Yeah, so 263 slightly wiped. Let's look at. I want to look at a couple of spin variables here real quick too. That one's gonna be a little bit spinnier. Yeah, you're over 3 on that one. If we go back, your perfect numbers sit at like 25-12.
Yep.
That sound about right?
Yeah, usually
Yeah.
around that 2,500
Yeah,
number.
you launch the ball so efficiently. And the beauty is for you, again, in the combo you have and the way that you sequence, your misses are always, you probably don't miss very far anymore, right? Like your lateral miss left to right is probably not very deep.
No.
Yeah. Can I take a peek at the numbers?
Yes. So before we get Maddie into this too, I'm a huge spiked footwear person. Like I've worked with the soft spikes team for the last 2 years. I've worked with some McNeil Engineering stuff who actually makes the inserts and stuff. Talk to me about spikes versus spikeless for you as a power hitter.
So I actually, I've done a combo of both over the years where in college I ended up wearing spikeless a lot. Just never really had an issue with slipping. So we were being given shoes in school.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
Yeah, and so I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll wear whatever you guys are giving me. It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
I'm not falling over. I'm not slipping. And then I rolled my ankle pretty bad in my 5th year, so I had to stay in spikeless. I started going back to spikes a little bit more, and then rolled it. Had to stay in spikeless for a while because it was my left ankle, so I couldn't let the ankle grip, or else it would just
Turn against it.
yeah, it would just feel absolutely
that.
terrible.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then once that finally got healthy again, I'm like, I have to wear spikes. The foot is just sliding a little bit more than I want to. And versus being able to wear spikes, I can just actually post up. I can swing as hard as I want.
So good. So I am so glad you just described it that way. So many people, when you talk about spike versus spikeless, they all think about the back foot,
Yeah.
right? They all think about this.
Oh, that's
Nobody thinks about
crazy.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you can't get here,
Yep.
and this goes out or this
Yeah.
comes back a little bit, you're like, so even, and my best example is people say all the time, like, well, Scotty Scheffler wears spikes, but look at his feet. And I'm like, no. Look at his front foot. His back foot does whatever his back foot's doing, right? But his front foot is so locked into that front side that all his power comes from that ground pushing back into his swing. So just 2 for 2. Love it. Yeah, big one. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All
As
right.
ready as I'll ever
We'll
be.
give you 2 warm-up swings, no data, no nothing, and then Riley will make you hit it.
Yeah, I just don't like having to work hard.
All right, so make her swing faster.
All right, yeah, so tell me,
Here
what
we
are
go.
your keys for a...
Here's where she's at.
Faster swing.
We're not gonna tell her. Well, she can kind of see it in there, but
Yeah, I can see
There's
it.
where she's
I
at.
already saw it.
Okay.
we don't have swing speed because we don't have dots on the head.
Yeah.
But we can probably get that number above 40.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right.
That's easy.
All right. Fixer.
Fix me.
Yeah, well, so one of the biggest pieces of advice that I've gotten over the years, because it's my tendency, is you don't hit the ball with your backswing.
Yeah.
So it's really making it smooth, controlled.
Am I
going back.
overswinging?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying like you're back here, man.
But no, but just in
general,
yeah, just in general. And so it's smooth, controlled, and then I always love getting just like a little, like a millisecond of a pause at the top,
Ooh, I love
letting
that.
it drop in, and all the speed is created from
Yeah.
about hip high to hip high.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's just being able to fire. Once it gets down, let it go, and then you can rip.
So
out.
about from where you'd take a slap shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Former hockey player.
Yeah.
Yeah, then that's
So,
a perfect analogy.
Makes great.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I like that. Okay,
Yeah,
so smooth.
because then you can really use the hips and arms together to fire at the bottom.
I like that. All right, I'm gonna add the
Yeah.
pause in.
Yeah.
Focus on making a nice smooth backswing.
Do we need to be full Hideki pause, or
No,
just
I
like
don't
a
think
delay?
so.
No,
I think
just a little delay to
Okay,
let it just
got it.
drop
Yeah,
back
I like
down.
that. A
Got it.
delay
Yeah.
versus a pause.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because no one's getting the Cam Young or Hideki
No.
pause.
No.
That thing is so long.
Ooh.
Little fade,
Okay.
big fade.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of your stance, do you like flare your front foot at all so that you can turn through better? Or do you like to have that so that you have that post load?
Yeah, so I actually
Okay.
keep it pretty square.
Okay.
Just so I can post, because I know naturally my foot slides a little bit and ends up flared at the end.
Yeah.
But I think that it is really important with speed to be able to post into that.
Okay. So maybe I'll take my flare off a little bit.
Yeah, maybe a little
At the
bit.
setup.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna try that.
133.
I think going back, your left knee is collapsing a little too
Okay.
much.
All right.
Where it's okay if to get speed, it's okay if the heel comes up,
Yeah.
but to collapse,
You don't want that.
you're taking your body out of the positions
Yeah.
it needs to be to create that maximum power.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, that was better with that knee.
Yeah.
35.
Yeah.
The knee felt
2
better.
miles an hour up. From an equipment standpoint, I would focus, like, try to be a little bit more up on that for you,
Okay.
and be a little bit more slap shotty.
Okay. Yeah. So
Like,
my
hold it
swing,
as long as you can until you
typically
go.
I create power by jumping
Yeah.
in my swing. Obviously not that way.
Yeah.
That was like a jump and then
Yeah.
they're on the hands.
But your speed ends up from the top.
exactly.
not from the
So
bottom, yeah.
your speed
Yeah.
is opposite, or
Yeah.
how you cultivate
Yeah, because
that
a
speed.
lot of basic. I've been on force plates and done some of the
Yeah.
3D work, and my power comes from
that
lateral.
felt more down here.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Continue.
my power is from lateral and rotational.
Yeah.
I actually have proportionally very little vertical power.
Yeah.
Because it's just all that lateral and rotational coming from the hips. That because my brothers actually played hockey growing up.
Yeah. So you know.
Yeah, so just having watched them swing over the years.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all hips.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's just that's kind of how.
Which is what I've
innately-
always been in
yeah.
my swing.
Yeah, and I think that's innately how when you grow up in some of those rotational sports.
Yep.
That's how your body just wants to move.
Totally.
And over time, golfers learn, okay, vertical power, you get it back from the ground, and
Right.
but
Yeah.
like fortunately, my
You can
coach-
still get that vertical
Yeah.
power without leaving the
Exactly.
ground, and that's what you do. with that
Exactly.
post leg.
Yeah,
on the
where
front.
that's where my vertical comes in of that post.
Which honestly, I think I see more PGA Tour players that take advantage of the ground using that method.
Yeah.
Like you were talking about Scotty.
Yeah.
Great example of that is that post leg. It's like him and a lot of other guys
Yeah.
when they're like here in their swing, it's
Yeah.
still
Yeah. When
It's
you-
straight.
super stable.
absolutely.
when you talk about posting on that front foot, the prime example is Rory.
yeah,
Because how
Rory's
balanced
so
he
good
is
at
and
it.
his finish is all because
I mean,
Yeah.
he is so posted.
But
on his
then you
leg,
look
it's
at him
unreal.
and he hammers the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something
Yeah.
to this of
Yeah.
like
And-
using the ground, but you don't have to
Exactly.
jump
And
to
because
get the most out
like
of it.
Rory has so much rotational force.
Yes.
That if you have that super strong, fast rotational,
Yeah.
you have to post even more.
Yeah.
Totally.
Because otherwise your body's just going to get taken out of the swing.
And then it takes over. I mean, you see it a lot of times with amateurs who their body, like, especially with the hips, fires so fast. And then the hands are trying to catch up. And it's almost like if you were to, like, wind something up really tight and then you just, like, unwind and it's uncontrolled. And it's
because it
even
is,
hanging a little back.
because it is that separation of the torso and hips from the top that creates that kind of whiplash.
Totally.
But it's how can you control that to actually use the power?
Yeah,
because that's the biggest difference with a
And
lot
make
of
it
amps.
consistent, because there are golfers that can control it and they can make it consistent.
Exactly.
Right? That unwinding and it being almost a little, you know, explosive, a little hard to control. They can do it consistently.
Yeah.
But a lot
because
of amps
that's
can't.
the biggest difference in between how a lot of AMs end up putting on speed and powers. They can hit it far, but because they're not controlling that separation in their body, it when you look at the shafted impact, there's so much inconsistency that can occur from it.
Yeah. And I mean, when you consider that they're not having the same setup every single time too, that only adds to the inconsistencies, right? People that are playing with their ball position all the time, or they're even playing with their equipment, right? Their specs. You're never going to have a good baseline to work off of. Yeah. All right. So keep that speed from the bottom. Build the speed at the bottom. All right.
At the hips, go harder.
Yeah.
How does this look?
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Late whoosh.
Late whoosh.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, 137.
That was like my most straight one.
2 more.
Yeah.
Sweet.
One of my big things that actually has helped me with speed too is I always take full speed practice swing.
Oh, not
Okay.
good.
No,
Not
no,
good.
we're just here for speed.
Yep.
We're good.
But still, that wasn't good for speed because I delivered the.
That's all right.
There it is.
Yeah.
What do we
That's
hit?
your 140. You start off at 134. 140.
Boom. So we want to do. I
Here,
honestly,
celebration ball,
I'm
celebration
gonna
ball.
start celebration ball.
He's back there.
Yeah, it's broken too, I think. Well, no, it's not. All right, we're good. All right, celebration ball. But I do think that the keys that really worked for me were thinking about delivering it from the bottom and thinking about that like slap shot, like energy kind of.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially with that chat profile.
Yeah.
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 Bang. Yeah, back to 139 again.
Yeah.
Great job.
Yeah.
Love
So
it.
You're 6 miles an hour in 5 swings.
Boom.
Yeah, that's it. Fully equipped. Golf.com. Maddie, Jake, Riley. She hits the ball just really far.